Hey guys, welcome back to another banging episode of I Say What I Like. It's your girl Eniola on the beat, your host with the most. This is another amazing episode. And as usual, I have my wonderful, amazing co-host that I said I found in the street of Echo. And don't forget, I Say What I Like is that place where we have, hot, spicy conversations. Like I said, I have with me my wonderful, amazing co-host that I found on the street of Lagos. Hello, Eko. We say wealth of Lagos. It's looking like that Yoruba demon. I mean, what's the word they say? It looks really amazing. Wealth of Lagos. What's up now?
I'm very fine. How you doing?
I'm superb.
Yeah, they say when you go to Rome, you have to be like, "You people, so I'm in Lagos. What do you expect? I have to look like a Yoruba demon." Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was amazing.
What
Here
did you
and
enjoy
there, the
weekend?
elections and everything, but
That's true. There was election.
yes, but I still had a good time.
You went out.
No dull moment with me.
Right? I saw your status. You like up and gigi. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscription. I see all of them, and we are super super grateful. And we pray that may the Almighty Lord keep blessing you. And if this is your first time listening to I Say What I Like podcast, please do well to subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that I Say What I Like podcast is here. Today we are going to be having some real life conversations, some type of conversations that people really do not talk about, really sensitive conversation. Today we are going to be talking about the mental struggles or mental battles men don't talk about, basically men's mental health. And joining me today is an amazing guest. She is a mental health advocate, a self-esteem catalyst, and a psychotherapist. She is the CEO of Amon. She goes by the name Mrs. Ayodeji Michael Oni. You look beautiful today.
Thank you.
I love your haircuts.
Yeah, that's the brand.
I wish I could cut my own hair, like go
With
go do
time,
something.
maybe you could.
You look really amazing. How was your weekend?
Awesome, beautiful.
Awesome, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we get into the real juicy conversation of today, I'd like you to give us a brief background about yourself. And that reminds me, I was going through your page and then I saw somebody that I know, Pastor
Really?
Furi. And I'm like, she was my godmom. Yeah, me
Really?
and her
Whoa.
daughter. Yeah, me and her daughter grew up together.
Oh,
Her dad was a pastor of my church, Christ Embassy. Yeah.
awesome. You see, it's such a small world.
Yeah, I
You
know,
always
right?
know someone that
Know
knows
somebody
someone
that
that
knows
knows someone that
somebody.
you know. All right, so I go by the name Ayodeji Michael Oni, fondly known as Mtish.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry, I
that's
muted
that's the
that.
brand Mtish.
Mtish, yeah.
And a self-esteem catalyst. It's never a dull moment with me.
Yeah.
When you get into the core of MTish. And there's this MTish effect that I always live with whoever I meet. I don't leave you worse than I meet you. I leave you better. Or I leave you the way I met you. So basically I am a pathfinder. I help people navigate through the wobbles and struggles of life. It's my calling beyond the profession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really amazing. All right, like I said, we are going to be talking about the mental struggles and mental battles that men really do not talk about. Men's mental health awareness, because a lot of people are like a lot of men are battling in silence. I quite made some research. The World Health Organization, estimated about 25 to 30 million of people who battles mental health issues in Nigeria, and about 10 to 12 million men, battle mental health issues in this Nigeria that we are. And funny enough, how 17,000 people die yearly because of suicide, and 75% of them are men. These are not just numbers, it's a sign that men are really going through a lot in silence. So, Mtish, as a mental health advocate that you have, what does this mean to you? Because, like, we said 75% of them, 75% of people who die because of suicide are men. These are not just numbers, like they are struggles. What does this statistics here mean to you?
So it's the very truth, absolute truth. I didn't mention the part that I'm an advocate for men.
Yeah.
Yes, I have this passion for men, and that's because there's a part of therapy that men don't do. They don't cry, and crying is very therapeutic. I had this acronym for cry. It's consciously releasing your pain, which is the part that is very uncommon to men. So there's that part of therapy that is natural for women because we cry.
Yeah, we
So
do.
crying releases some toxins from your body, but men don't cry. So that made me to, and going into a deeper research about men, it made me realize that men are going through so much more than what women go through. So because we have a lot of advocates for women, I decided to pitch my tent with the men. I still do a lot of programs, empowerment and all of that for women, right? Yeah. But I discovered that men don't have advocates. Men have practically lost their voice in the society. And it tells back on the women. So we are shouting feminists, we are shouting women's word, we are shouting men as comes.
Yeah.
All of these things is because we are not paying attention to the men. And if we don't pay attention to the men, it falls back on us. And we will keep having this vicious cycle of issues with women. So why not focus on the men that looks like the causal factor of what women are going through?
Yeah. So you are practically encouraging men to cry.
I was going to propose World Men Crying Day.
I mean, you wouldn't blame us when we were growing up. We were told men don't cry. Even if you were hurt or you're hurt, they tell you chin. Men don't cry. Yeah. You're not supposed to let people see your tears. So it's just the way we grew up. It's not really our fault. But low key, we want to cry, but who do we cry to?
That's deep. And I get this a lot from men. Okay, so for me, let me be very realistic. I'm a very realistic speaker. I tried to do this with my husband. Years of our marriage, I just discovered that this man is always edgy. He just gets angry for things he shouldn't get angry for. So I began to ask questions because I also know that the why is more important than the what. Why people do what they do is more important. He's a very sweet man, a man that carries my matter on his head. But when he's on the edge, he goes, so I began to ask questions and I saw that he was bottling a lot of things. And I also know that what you bottle, you battle.
Yeah.
So because this man was bottling a lot, men repress their emotions. Now this repression make them express their emotion in form of anger. They wouldn't cry, but they get angry. They are frustrated that you are not even seeing their struggles. And you that you are crying, they know that what is making you cry is not as important as what they are going through.
Yes.
So it's painful. And this pain would not still be expressed as tears. So these things are reinforced with their own disposition. Do you understand? Yeah. So I began to ask my husband questions. And at some point, I was like, you don't do therapy for me. I'm not one of your clients. I'm not one of your clients. I said, no, it's not therapy. I just want to know you're a good man. And these are things women should also understand. Men want to express themselves, but they also want to be in a safe space.
On the other hand, we try to be careful. Men. Let me talk in a place of men.
Yes, talk like a man. You're a man.
Yeah. We try to be careful because most times the people we tend to tell our worries, our problems, turn back, use it against us. So we try to hold it from a lot of persons.
So this is where the question comes from. That when men, society says men should talk, but would the society listen to men without being judgmental?
Very deep question too. So I was on a program on its particular TV station, and someone asked this question and did not remember to ask the other side of the question, which is what I'm going to say here now. Men want to express themselves, right? But they don't want it to be used against them. But we need to also understand that it's not just a man's word. It's not just a woman's word. It's the world's word. We are all in it together. Because this perspective is also relatable to women. Some women would not also express themselves because they don't want to be judged. So it's not particular to men. So if you use that as a reason not to express yourself, then you're doing more harm to yourself than good. Because we also have women that wouldn't talk because they don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
So if a man would say the reason why I'm not talking is because I don't want to be judged, I mean.
What about in the case where a man and wife, the man gets to tell his wife this is this, and the wife gets to use it against him? I've seen a scenario like that. And this man finds peace when he goes to the beer parlor, when he sits with us to drink and to talk football. He just tells us, this is this. Then we get talking. And he's like, I don't want to go home. If I go home now, if I tell this woman this is what I'm going through, she'll be like, hey, is it only you? So we get that a lot. Most times they tend to go out to sit down at the beer parlor or places where they'll forget their sorrow, just drink and let me not say anything, let me just enjoy myself. Problem continues after that. This is not what we want actually. We want to I want to be able to tell this person, see, this is what I'm going through. Let me be able to cry and just like you say, ease this thing out of my shoulder, my chest. But on the other hand, if I tell this person will be like, this man is weak. How did I get to marry this man?
Weak man.
Do you get? I've seen this. I've seen this thing. I've seen it a lot. I had a friend of mine that I really liked one time. I told her most times if you want to talk to me, I get scared. Not because I'm not a man, but because she wants to use everything against you. So me trying to tell her this is this thing, I'll be like, no.
All right. So do you think most men know when they are facing or when they are battling mental issues, or do they just see it as stress and move on? It go be.
So men don't even understand a lot of things that is happening with them mental-wise. And when I'm talking about mental now, I'm not talking about what people perceive mental to be. Yes, it's not insanity, it's not lunacy. It's just the fact that something is wrong with you emotionally and there's an outburst. Now, most men don't even understand. They know something is wrong, right? But they cannot place it. So awareness like this, what you were doing, that's why it's so hard for me to turn down things like this. But the fact that it's for men was the reason why I jumped at it, because it's not a common narrative. It's not a common discussion. We say there's World Men's Day, but women will still dress and wear agbada. I mean, these things are not so nice on the men.
Yeah, that's...
Forget your experience. You are a woman. Don't give me that crap of... I'm the soul. What have you? Yes, it's not like I'm not empathic with you. But if we were more empathetic with the men, they would not be where they are. And that's the absolute truth. So it is what it is. But we can begin to change the narrative by speaking about it, this discussion, make it more common. The way we are carrying feminists, what do we call the men? Say masculinist or whatever. I don't know what someone was jokingly calling it. We need to also blow these things the way we blow. Women, we are so loud.
Yeah.
I'm a woman. And just to buttress on what he said, men need a safe space. I was talking about my husband. When I began to ask questions, there was a day, it was a whole day of talk. And that was when he even told me about the struggles he had far back as when he was in secondary school. He doesn't like to write. And I discovered he writes well. Whenever I ask him to write, you are the writer. And one day I said, you can write. You're a graduate, man. And so while we're talking that day, I discovered that because he failed English at a time in secondary school, and the teacher looked at him and said, you know what, you can't be good in English. And And that stuck.
In his
So
head.
Even while he went to the university, did well. He said even anytime he wants to write English,
GNS, yeah.
he always doubted himself. So he would overread just to pass, not because he wanted to know it.
To know it.
So anytime I ask him to write, he just gets angry, like, right now, you know you are better. I'm like, who told you are not good? And, simple things like this becomes an issue. So when we began to talk, we traced it, and I said, you know what? It's okay. Anytime you have this kind of feelings or you feel down, you can shed some tears. He said, no. There was a time he cried and his mother told him that he's not man enough.
This word sticks.
You're like, you are crying. Okunrin. Why? He said, no, men don't cry. And that's stuck again. It's called social conditioning in psychology. Conditioning, it just becomes a norm. They internalize it. And so it was a whole lot. After that day, some other days we got talking about it. And the first day he cried. That day, I can visualize that day. My husband cried. Oh my God. I was so excited. And the woman in me wanted to say, see your mouth. Because the man was not the man wasn't really nice. It's not like, there's a way women cry. To share.
We all cry, let me see.
They are crying. Oh my God. Because they are not used to crying.
Yeah.
And so that day he cried. And I was like, wow. It looks so good on you. He began to laugh,
Mm-hmm.
And since that day, in fact, the second time he cried, he said, go and call the children. Let them see. Because they always say, Daddy, you don't cry. So I called the children. I said, come and see, Daddy's crying. I said, ooh, Daddy's crying. So if we begin to normalize the anomaly, because it has been abnormalized. If we begin to normalize it, I have clients, I have men that cry. And men that cry are the strongest. So if we begin to normalize it with conversations like this, creating awareness around the discussion, I think men would be able to be more expressive.
In your own opinion, what does a cry for a typical Nigerian man looks like? Because, that's your field. You must have seen a lot. What does it look like?
Okay, so you will be surprised at what even break these men. They are not so big, And there's a particular client that I once had, a popular comedian. And the day he called and started crying, I felt his pain. It wasn't something so big. In fact, it was his wife. Most times we are the ones. It was his wife, and he called and he said, Mtish, I just want to
vent out.
I want to vent out.
Just say these things.
I want to. It's a lot for me. This woman says these things to me, kind of emotional abuse. And we think that because these men these
just
things
burden
don't
it,
touch them. It touches them. But
we actually sometimes see men as some kind of superheroes that, when you say stuff or when they do stuff, they're spyros. They go, it's unlike we, the female, because someone like me, any little thing, I'm a crybaby. But you at least see men, cry, being vulnerable, like, guy, talk. Because I want to listen. Like, I don't know about every other lady, because I'm employing every other lady watching this right now. Please be that safe space for men. In as much as we see them as superheroes, like you said, they are babies inside. Yeah, they need people to be able to communicate, to lay their shoulders on. Because someone like me, when I cry on my husband's shoulders a lot. But then the other day, this reminds me, when we're talking about men's mental health, it said the only time a man is allowed to have mental breakdown is when a man is rich. That you have no business being mentally down when you are not rich. And in my head, I'm like, so are you trying to say it's only the rich that are allowed to have mental issues? Like, an average man is not allowed to have mental issues.
So these are wrong narratives. The presence or absence of money doesn't have anything to do with your mental health. when you say, some guys would say, oh, now because I did broke, now you make me dey depressed. Now lie.
You hear that a lot.
When you have money, that's the beginning of your depression. And there are also the very rich, wealthy people. I mean, there's a particular MD of a very known organization in Nigeria that told me he has 2 therapists and wanted to employ me as a third. So this one would be for marriage. This one would be for when I want to vent anything that has to do with my organization. Another one would be for the family. Because there are a lot of issues. And he once told me that I can't even imagine men that don't have therapists. Yes, he said, I can't imagine. They would take to every alcoholism. They would take to drugs. They would take to womanism. Because they just need something. They need somewhere to vent out these things that they are bottling. Okay, so I mean, these narratives are wrong. It's not because you have money that you have mental breakdown. It's not because you don't have money that you'd have. There are other issues. What do you say about this man, the co-founder of Booker Hut? I'm mentioning the name because it was all over the social media.
Yeah.
The guy committed suicide. And from research, men commit suicide more than women.
Yes, that's why I said 75% of men. When we have about 70,000 people who die yearly, and 75%
Me,
are
why
men.
will I think of that when I have my children?
Exactly. This one is beautiful to enjoy. Like, that should be the last thing on your mind. But then I understand because,
what you
you
think,
have
actually.
plenty fine girls. You have, plenty.
That's what you think. Okay, first of all, let's look at it like this, okay? We have how many Mother's Day and Women's Day entirely? How many? Can we count? I don't think we can. How many International Men's Day do we have? 1. How many Father's Day do we have? Just 1. And we don't even get celebrated. We don't. Instead, they will tell you Happy Father's Day that they send us money.
I'm guilty.
You get?
Happy Father's Day to all mothers that struggle to raise their children.
You get?
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah. Sometimes, I really don't know, but because this conversation right now, there's a part is touching my heart. Yeah. Because we have a lot of Mother's Day, like you said, and just 1 Father's Day. And you see ladies coming online. To me, who took care, who stood as a father to all my kids.
So
I
my
celebrate
mother
me.
who did this. So.
Like you gave birth to those children alone. You copulated with yourself.
So people think or assume that men breakdown is tied to social expectations or pressure. Is that statement true or false?
Very similar to what she just said. It's not true. It's not true. Now, even depression is as a result of a lot of underlying issues from childhood. I have a boy, and one of those days, something happened in the house, and he was crying. And the dad was about to say the same thing his mom told him many years ago.
Yeah.
And he just paused. Later when he told me, I was about to tell him, boys don't cry. So it's not tied to the social expectation. It's tied to the social norms. Yes, the social norms, the social conditionings. The fact that they have had a lot of wrong narratives.
Yeah.
Very wrong.
A lot of wrong things, A man now, you will not do a surprise for a man. And he said,
Oh, yeah.
Why would a man do that?
Yeah.
When a man tells his girlfriend, I love you, they begin to suspect
You
him
be
as
gay.
a gay. These are wrong social norms.
Yeah. Like,
You
there
cannot
are very
hug your
few
girlfriend
people.
as a man. They begin to suspect you.
There are very few people who actually even tell their male friends that I love you. I remember some time ago when my brother used to tell his friend I love you. I'm like, guy, I love you so much. At the end of conversation, I'm like, mommy, are you sure this guy it's okay somewhere? Are you sure your child is
I don't
straight?
think I can even do that actually because
Why?
I've had a very bad experience with a man.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes, I've had a very bad experience with a man that disguised himself as a girl. So I don't think I would want to hold another guy closer. So for me, I don't think I would want to do that. But I still get to tell my guys that I love you, bro. Because I know where it's coming from. I don't really have friends per se. So the ones I have, I take them very dear to me. For instance, I lost two of my younger brothers in the space of 2 years and a best friend. So I tend, before I call someone my friend or before I get to tell you things, I see you very close to me, close to my heart. That's the kind of person. See, me in particular, people see me as a very hard guy, but I'm very emotional. I'm very, very, very emotional.
So what
I don't
you
want
do?
to take off my glasses because I'm about to tear up. For real.
God.
I'm very,
And
very,
it's
very, very
okay,
emotional
right?
because
It's okay.
there's a lot that I've seen, a lot that I've been through, I've passed through, but what are we going to do? Who are we going to cry to? The minute you just, oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
It's okay to cry, really. It's okay. You know, it has become a norm now in my family. My husband now tears up. You know, things happen, like empty. And at that moment, I just go quiet. I want, you know, sometimes it's about to come out and he thinks about the fact that he's a man. The thing goes back. I want it to come out. So I'll just keep quiet at that moment. And I'm like, okay, it's okay, it's okay. You know, so these are issues. These are things that men face. And sincerely, we need to be more. I mean, this TV said I just talked about. When I finished everything I said, some of the women were like, if we had known things like this, maybe our marriages would not even break. Your marriage break, the man is still the one responsible.
Everything is always the man.
Everything is on the... It's unfair on this man. If we push this conversation well, I'm telling you, we will change this narrative. We need to be fair on this men. The things we complain about men, they are things they use to express their emotions. They vent, you know, using anger. Sometimes they just totally shut down. Like, it doesn't talk to me. Why would it talk to you? The last time it talked to you, what did you do? So we need to be that safe space, just like you said, for these men. Allow them express themselves. Allow them be stupid. Yeah.
I've been in this shoe before. I told someone very dear to me, see what's happening with me, or see this person I met, or see. She went to tell her sister. And her sister went to tell that person. I felt very betrayed. How do you expect me to tell you something again? It's not even possible for me to tell you. And I'll prefer to tell an outsider that I know that. Tell it to anybody, I don't care. I don't even know where it's going to, but telling you that I know that, okay, I could run to you anytime and tell you, this is this. I told you this, and you went to tell somebody else. How do you expect me to trust you? The trust is no longer there. Imagine me telling you, oh, there's this so that happened. I feel very bad. You'd be like, why would you feel bad? I know that. I don't even want that. Sometimes I'd be like, okay, let me just go back home very late. Let me just stay outside. In fact, my sister, I don't want to hear her shout. I don't want to hear anybody shout. If I'm not going, it's because I don't want to be in that scenario where I get
brought down.
That's just the thing. So, how do men recognize signs of burnout or imbalance in themselves and what they step out to take what are the steps they need to take to get corrective measures?
You know why I'm laughing? They don't even know the signs of burnout. The signs have become normalized that you cannot even call it a sign. Because they live with the signs. Yes, they are withdrawn. They don't want to associate with the people they should associate with because they've been hurt. These are signs, but it has become normalized in men. If I give these signs in women, you can easily notice when a woman is outgoing before and she becomes withdrawn. You can take note. But men are naturally withdrawn. So they take to watching balls and you're hungry. He's not talking to me, he's just watching ball. If he talks to you, what do you have to offer? It's so bad that some women don't even have valuable conversations. Every conversation is to bring the man down. I'm sorry, I'm coming for women.
No, it's fine.
I mean, I've also been there. It took me 8 years to realize some of these things. And so now people say, oh, there's nothing like, oh, I paid the price. Now, I take a lot of things. You know, I take even the seemingly stupid conversation. If it looks like it's a stupid conversation, I'll take it. Because I want you to feel safe. So if every one of us begin to toe that path, where we allow men to be stupid, be real, be themselves, be weak, the same way women can be weak and they will not be perceived as, you know, being weak. when they cry, when they express their emotional expressions and all of those things. So, like you said, we need to allow men to be themselves. There are a lot of signs. The signs live with the men. But because they are not allowed to express themselves, the society has labeled them, not to be able to express themselves. They are not able. So these signs, we don't even see them.
Yeah.
We see those signs as their norms.
Norms, yeah.
They are withdrawn.
So,
they are, okay, you want to say
okay,
something?
no, finish up.
They are socially disconnected. They would prefer to take to certain behaviors to cope. They take to a lot of coping mechanisms, right? They are easily angered. These are signs, but they are norms. So
let's talk about therapy.
okay.
Yeah. Why is it such a taboo for men to go for therapy?
Because they have other ways by which they've devised for themselves to calm themselves.
I have another question.
Okay.
How do religion, affect, or what role does religion play in men's mental health too?
Well, religion plays a very vital role, not just in men's mental health, both genders. Because some men would prefer to go to their men of God to say things they cannot even say to their wives. They would see their pastors as a safer space. But the truth is, you're not living with your pastor.
Okay, this thing you said reminds me of few years back in a particular church where one guy came to the pastor to tell the pastor that he doesn't have money for transport for a particular church service or something he was going to go for. I can't really remember clearly, but little I can remember. And that same day on the altar, the pastor came and said, one brother came to my office to ask me for money for transport. Can you imagine? And I didn't give him. I told him to go and pray to God. We didn't see that guy in church for years.
Okay.
When this guy came back, he came back with enough money, loaded. He came to spray the man of God. And when the guy was done spraying, the pastor still said, you remember that guy I said came to my office to request money from me for transport or something? See him here today, spraying me. And after that scenario, that guy never came to church. So it's like when you say sometimes people see their pastors as a safe space. We have some pastors, because I know that pastor very well. It's something he does regularly. When you say something to him, he uses you to preach on the altar.
So there are exceptions to all rules. The same way you have pastors that do this, you have pastors that also, absorb the pains of their members and help them. But what I was even about to say is the fact that, you see, your pastor is not, quote and unquote, I'm a pastor, but your pastor cannot be your lifetime confidant. So some people come to me. If you come to me as a therapist, it's different. But if you come to me on the platform of being the pastor in the church, sometimes I send you back to your husband. I send you back to your wife. Because we cannot be together forever. I can only be your pastor, to guide you spiritually, to lead you to God. I'm not to take over your life. Because you will still need your husband, you will still need your wife, you will still need your family. So we need to understand these things too, basically, that no one can take that space. Yes, your pastor can guide you, your pastor can, put you through certain things, but they are not to take the place of the loved ones in your life, because sometimes it leads to what we call emotional attachment. And that's why some persons end up on the bed of their pastors.
Yeah. So before we go, what is the price tag for being seen as a strong man in Nigeria?
That's very funny. There is no price tag. The price tag is depression. Yeah, the price tag is depression. A lot of men are really depressed. And what they even think gets them depressed is not what gets them depressed. They think is money. Money has become a coping mechanism
for everybody.
A lot of
men. When you are down I'm on a money. If I don't see one kind of money now, I would do okay. My
I
head goes
lie,
straight.
oh. Get the money first. Do I begin to mention names? Do you know how many of our celebrities are depressed? Oh, I wouldn't be able to mention their names. A lot. The ones you look up to, they are depressed. They are going through a lot. Thank God for the ones that are beginning to come out, because depression, mental health issues are also stigmatized. So people don't come out. I can come out now and tell you I'm having a headache. But if I come out to tell you that I'm dealing with a mental health issue, say, oh, that guy colo. So these are not conversations people come to have.
I used to know one celebrity that used to walk past down my area one time like that, and he was very popular. Someone very popular, something like that, Oluchi. I'm trying to remember his name. I don't even think I should call his name, but I think I know that guy very well. When he came out to say, I was like, oh, so this guy was actually unstable. Like, if he didn't say anything, nobody would know. If he didn't say anything, you see him trekking down. Like, this guy na big boy, you like, what happened? Oh, it's well. That's what I have to say. One more thing before we go, please. How do you know, or how do men ensure their own mental health, their own mental and emotional well-being is strong enough positively to influence others?
Very deep question and thoughtful one. Now, the moment you see that you are. So I mentioned the fact that a lot of the signs are normalized. They are normal signs. But on the extreme, the moment you discover that you are entirely shut out, you don't even want to have interface. You mentioned the fact that you don't want to hear noise, you don't want to hear, but at some point you still need them, you still relate with them. But the moment where you discover that you are entirely shut out, you don't want to relate with anybody, you don't want to have anything to do with anybody, then the moment you now begin to hear voices in your head telling you to do this. The particular person you talked about walking, I have a lot of celebrities that have told me that they heard voices that told them to be walking barefooted. So when you begin to hear voices telling you to do certain things, and it's obsessive. Now, what I mean by obsessive is you cannot control that voice. The voice is telling you to do this. Some voices will tell men to beat, kill, just in a way to calm themselves when those things come, because they have bottled a lot of things. So when you say a man killed his wife, killed his girlfriend, it didn't just happen that day. I'm not talking about the ritualist here.
No, I understand.
It's as a result of a lot of underlying issues. They've been bottling it. So when there's a trigger, there's what we call emotional outbursts. So you cannot help someone when you've not been helped. So men should not also always try to help. They want to help the whole world when they are helpless.
That's why I said men behave like superheroes. Basically, we see them as superheroes. They see themselves as superheroes. Just like the father, the head of the house, he wants to make sure everybody is fine, everybody is doing okay. But you yourself, are you fine? I would do all right.
That's the part where we now come in. So there are times when my husband wants to do everything. I'll tell him, go and sit down. It have to. He said, I can do it. No, you cannot do it. And he did say, I'm Mtish, thank you. I said, look at you. You don't even know that you are growing old. You still want to carry this, carry that, carry that. And then one day, like, my chest is paining me. I said, it's because you are stressing yourself. So because they've been conditioned to want to save the whole world, I now tell him, you cannot save the world and lose yourself. I need you. So Oga, go and sit down. Sometimes I collect the phone. As a pastor, all the members want to call you. No, they should call their husbands too. So these are ways we can help these men. With time, they will realize you are helping them and not see it as the superhero that they were conditioned to be.
All right. Before we finally go, I have just one last bonus question to ask. So I wrote it here. I said, if crying in public become normal for men, just like it is for women, what do you think would change in our homes, relationship, and streets?
Oh, we are going to have emotionally sensitive men, emotionally intelligent men, emotionally strong men, men that will be able to raise children with empathy.
Yeah.
Because they now know what it means to feel hurt and express hurt. We're going to have a very sweet word. Before my husband began to cry, I've seen a lot of changes. And this would help him raise our boy better. Because there are times, before he started crying, when the boy does something, there's a way he screams at him. When you get inside, he doesn't scream like that on the girls.
Girls, yeah, because there's this stigma, yeah. The way you raise a female child is different from the way you
Which is
raise
true.
a male child.
It's very true because genders differ. But in the real sense, empathy applies to everyone, to every gender. So your question, we would raise men that are emotionally intelligent.
On the other hand, I think we should have a community. Yeah, we see these things in movie, but we don't get to them. Especially the movies from the Western world, where we get to, it's like a therapy, where we get to sit down. Okay, my name is so. This is my talk. You cry. Everybody cry with you, and it will go a long way.
And at the end of the day, guys,
For
share
real.
popcorn.
It will go a long way. Seriously, most times it's not all about sport. Sometimes we are watching football, we are angry, but we just put our face, just gaze our eyes there. So I don't want to hear anything. Just know when I'm watching football, everybody leaves me alone.
Yeah.
Give me that space, but deep down,
You are not actually watching
you're not watching that
football.
ball. You know. So if we have a space like this where we get to talk, where we get to like communicate, oh, this is this and that. You say everything here, it ends here. Nobody takes your anything outside. And you see, we'll get a better man, including myself. No, I'm not saying yes
Including
now.
a better wealth of Lagos.
Including myself, yeah.
All right, guys, it's been a wonderful view conversation. And, this conversation reminded me that silence isn't strength, as a man. You need to voice out because there is power in talking. There is serious power in talking. It's been an amazing time with Mtish Mrs. Ayodeji Michael Oni. Thank you so much for coming on board with us and having this conversation. And if you're a man listening to us, please, and please, don't stay silent. So those suicidal thoughts do not come to your head. For those thoughts that, mimics in your head to can't kill somebody. You can't do this, can't do that. Before talk to somebody.
Suicide is not an option.
Suicide, it's not an option. So yes, guys, it's been a wonderful time. I had, a very therapeutic session right now. So I know where to work on myself as a lady. Yeah. So after this show, we get talk. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And do well to follow us on all social media handles. See you next time on the next episode.